I'm a hurting guy. I've been doing flat track for, oh gosh, 35, 40 years, and we're here to promote the flat track racing in Alberta. We have fun going in circles. Okay, so flat track is North America's oldest form of motorcycle racing. It started in wooden barrels, velodromes, and then moved out onto beaches in the south, out down in Florida, and then after World War I, towns started to create exhibition societies and build horse tracks. And then it's transitioned on to horse track ovals, stock car ovals, and shorter track ovals. And we race with no front brakes. We have a steel shoe on our left foot, which is our third wheel. If we're going too fast, we skid the bike in and slide it. And then we put our third wheel down to prevent the bike from crashing. And we get her back on the peg at the apex of the corner and get on the gas. Half-mile track times are somewhere around 30 seconds.
Tell me, what is the greatest reward you have?
Well, it's 4 minutes of adrenaline. The races are 6 to 7 laps long, 30 seconds, quick math, around 4 minutes. Extreme focus, 100 feet a second, and you're out there with 8 others, and it's time to pay attention. And survival, the checker flag, you know, not going down. So it's an adrenaline rush. It's a endorphin thing right in the brain.
And I suppose that's why after all these years you're still doing it.
Yeah. It's happy time. It's great vitamin. Good community. Amir and I, we've been promoting the flat track at Olds. Olds has been 45 years. We've been racing there. We had 20 years of time and out, but we've resurrected it and got it going about 6 years ago with a few others. Jason Holloway, Doug Bayat, Joel Hidalgo, and a whole crew of volunteers. It takes 22 people to put on a race. So we've got to have a community. We can't just show up by ourselves and expect. And then, you know, if you're trying to do the racing and organize it, as you know, it's difficult. But we've got a good group of people. This is the schedule for 2024. Our first fun thing is Test and Tune in June. So these are for people that have never done this before. You can show up with any dirt bike. I mean, if you're at a small street bike even, like a 400, we'll let you have some laps. Come around the track and enjoy. 2 weeks later, if you like it, sign up. You can do race 1 and 2. We have a rain date in July on the 27th and 28th. If this rains out, that's race number 1, 2. And then we do August and we do September. So we're giving people a chance to go to other racetracks and have a summer holiday on their own.
Alberta Flat Track Association, just Google and stuff will come up.
Well, the Blue Knights is a law enforcement group, so we all areas of law enforcement, and we're basically like a family group to get together and like to ride around. We host an honor ride where we raise money for 3 different charities. One would be the Veterans Family, Johnny Petropoulos, and the Calgary Fire Burn Unit. And that's pretty much what we like to do. We get together, try to get together every weekend for a couple of rides, and anyone is welcome to join and come. Anyone is welcome to join us for a ride, but you have to be some type of law enforcement to be a part of the Blue Knights.
And so the Blue Knights is all about RCMP, police, military police, peace officers, sheriffs, that kind of thing.
Yes, ma'am. Any type of law enforcement that there is. We're a worldwide group, and it was actually started in Bangor, Maine, with the U.S.
And what is the number of chapters across Canada?
Across Canada, I'm not sure. There are, I think, 5 chapters in Alberta, but there's chapters all across BC, Saskatchewan, Ontario, New Zealand, Australia, and then all throughout the States.
And if a person was a former law enforcement officer, or maybe they're currently serving and they wanted to get involved, how would they find you?
We have a website, and most of us on our cards we have a QR, but you can go to Blue Knight International, and the website will come up, and applications are on there.
My name is Gavin Lindenbach, And we're out here racing in Strathmore, and it's lots of fun and and it's quite safe actually. I don't even get hurt that much in this. I get more hurt in soccer than anything.
That's what your dad was telling us. So tell us a little bit about the motorcycle you ride.
I ride a TTR 110 usually, but I also have a KX 65. They go about like 90 kilometers an hour, and like you do shift on them, but like I don't know, like.
So is it all about the body lean and making sure
yeah.
you're really paying attention?
It's kind of like a lot of shifting and like leaning over and your body positioning and all that.
So there's a lot of science involved in riding,
Yeah.
is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah.
Lots of physics.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite aspect of riding? Why do you love to ride?
I feel like my favorite aspect is like out there riding with my friends and trying to like teach them and like talking with them off the track once you like after a good race or something like that.
Yeah. So you like the friendship that it builds.
Yeah.
Very cool. I bet you a lot of those friends are going to become lifelong friends. I bet you when you look back when you're 35 and 40 years old, the people that you're still talking to are people that ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
I'm here with Christy Lee, and she's with the Bikers Are Buddies groups. Tell me a little bit about what Bikers Are Buddies is all about.
Okay, so Bikers Are Buddies are a anti-bullying motorcycle organization. We go into communities and schools and teach about bullying and the effects it has on the child and like the classrooms and just the school groups as a whole. We also go into communities. We used to do birthday rides and like honker horns when kids couldn't have like big birthday parties because of COVID. Or if there's a child in the community that's getting bullied, we will ride our bikes into their community and stop and say hi and, you know, kick a soccer ball or that kind of stuff and make the child understand and feel that there's people that care about them and come and visit them. And we've done, you know, trips where we've done a couple times over to, yeah.
So in supporting these kids, what ends up being the outcome most of the time?
Most of the time, the children and their families have a better understanding on how to deal with the bullying. Sometimes we've done multiple trips where we've come back and visited the family. You know, it depends on what the situation is, and we can educate, you know, not only the parents, we can also educate the teachers too in the classrooms. So the teachers understand, and there's a lot of times too where the kids that have been bullied, they feel like there's actually support in their community.
So do you guys take training? How do you guys end up learning how to do all this good stuff?
So a lot of us have had some experiences growing up, and then we come to BAB and we just learn through each other. We also have an education program that we will go into schools and help them. And then in turn, it also helps us because it helps us so we understand, okay, so where's the bullying going on, and we can see things. Maybe some people get triggered by things, and we can help them out. And we just support each other in our group, which is a big thing, and that's why I joined BAB.
So how do people that don't know about BAB actually find you on the internet and learn more?
You go to www.babcanada.ca. And we are on the internet. You can go on Facebook. There's BAB, Bikers Are Buddies Calgary. There's a riders and support group.
Tell me a little bit about the Alberta Off-Highway Vehicle Association.
So we are an umbrella group that does the advocacy work for all of the ATV and single track clubs in Alberta. So we work with the government. Right now we're working on building the Trails Act out with all the regulations. We have some funding that we split out between all of the clubs, and we just generally try to help all of the clubs in any way that we possibly can.
So the idea is you're a governing body, you support them, you guide them,
Absolutely.
And you make sure they get connected to the right people for their region.
Yes.
Okay. And what other kinds of advocacy work do you do? Like I see that you're tied to the COHV. Tell us about that relationship.
COHV no longer exists. It's now Moto Canada.
Oh, when did this transpire?
About 3 months ago.
Okay.
So this show is put on by Moto Canada, It used to be put on by COHV.
Right.
So it's now Moto Canada, and we belong to Moto Canada, just as a club participant.
Right.
So within that, Moto Canada is actually 3 organizations. It's MCC, which is the Motorcycle Confederation of Canada, CQC, which is a Canadian Quad Council, and Moto Canada. And I'm the vice president for CQC.
Okay. And what does CQC do?
They did a bunch of safety training. They do a bunch of advocacy work from the federal side of things.
Okay. Wonderful. Where can people find out more about what you guys offer as an association and how they can learn about everything that you offer? Do you have a website?
As everything nowadays, a website.
Okay. What's the address? AOHVA.com. Perfect. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.